Go
Hel-
ahead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Healthy Happy Hour. I believe this is our fourth one. And
Yes.
this is cool. We've been doing it consistently now for a few weeks, almost, more than a month. Anyways,
Yeah.
glad you're here. If you're joining in live or watching the replay, feel free to ask some questions as we go along or any comments or things you want to share. We'd love to see it. Either come off mute or just drop it in the chat. I'm Raina. I'm a holistic health coach, and I specialize in working with people on work-life balance, stress management, stress relief, and figuring out how to fit like self-care routines into your busy lifestyle. So a lot of the things we touch on here, I also talk to my one-on-one clients with. And just excited to share it with you and partner with Joelle, who is a personal trainer. I'll let you intro you.
Yes. Yes. I've been a personal trainer about 8 years, and it's always brought me so much joy to let people figure out how much they love movement and how much lifting especially is empowering, and just all the things that I think especially as women, we feel this hesitancy to go to find our power and our strength in movement that way. And now it's kind of evolved to something a little bit more. It's about health esteem, not just feeling good once you get to this certain spot and, oh, once I lose this amount of weight or am this size, then I can be happy. We can be happy the whole way, and we should be. And so that's what I'm here to promote and show, that it doesn't have to be difficult. It can be easy. It can be part of your life without changing your life and making it so that it's all you can do.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. That was one of our intentions and goals with setting these happy hours up is we want to make healthy living and healthy habits doable and accessible. So bite-sized chunks here. We break it up into nutrition, mindfulness, and movement, kind of broad pillars that we do like deep dives on, and then have like an overall theme with. So yeah.
Yes. And today's theme is energy, and you can both hinder or expand your energy with different habits and different mindset, thing like that we want to just touch on and give you that power too.
Yeah. So should we dive in? Nutrition?
Yes, let's do it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you want me to start?
Yeah,
Or do you
I
want
was just gonna say we had a request on what we're getting into, intermittent fasting. Someone from last time asked about
she
like
actually just there she is.
there she is. Oh, Stephanie
Yes.
says
Hi,
unmute you.
Trish.
Hi, Trish.
How are
Thank
you?
Welcome.
So glad you're here. We're so good. We actually took your recommendation and we're just getting into it now. We're going to be talking about intermittent fasting myths, do's and don'ts, and how that relates to energy.
Perfect.
Okay, so I won't go too deep on it because it really, ultimately, in my opinion, intermittent fasting is not for the majority. If you are in your menstruating years, it's not for you. If you are male, it could be for you. But ultimately, when people tell me that they want to do intermittent fasting, it's usually for convenience, right? They want to not have to worry about eating in a broader window. And the most common goal that they're hoping for is to lose weight, right? So it can work. And if let's just pretend we're all men in this room with like testosterone, which is the most magical drug, when you really think about weight loss and the physical body, it is very predictable and it's very effective. So if somebody is going to choose intermittent fasting as their strategy to lose weight, it is essentially just tricking their metabolism. And the majority of people, especially if you need to lose weight, they do not need to trick their metabolism. They just need to turn it on. And that is if that physical hunger feeling. Some people are like, oh, I wake up hungry. That is not a bad thing. That is goals. We all want to wake up hungry because that means that our metabolism is awake and alive. And if it's with consistency, breakfast, for instance, you'll find that you are hungry earlier in the morning, and that is a good sign because your metabolism doesn't turn on when your eyes open. It turns on when the first food hits your stomach. It's like, oh, okay, we're awake. So, thinking just logically, if I want to lose weight, why would I not have my metabolism on as much as possible? Why would I say, okay, I'm going to wait until lunch to have my first solid food. Well, you're just telling your metabolism, go ahead and take a sleep in, dude. We don't need you here. And then our body is going, okay, well, so that's why it doesn't work, especially it doesn't work as predictably as a lot of people hope it will, especially if you're menstruating. If you have when we are menstruating, our hormones are on a certain cycle, right? And intermittent fasting is one of the fastest ways to screw them up, to make them confused. And if we're confusing our hormones and we're trying to confuse our metabolism in a good way, but it's got more negative bad sides than it does positive. And that's just because we need more consistency for our female hormones for our bodies to function at their best. So for the majority, not awesome. If you are postmenopausal, it can be great. And I usually just don't suggest it until you've tried everything else, until you're at that. I have 10 or 5 stubborn pounds that just won't go. And I've been consistently eating, fueling my body when I wake up. Within an hour, I eat, and then I consume calories every 3 hours or so. I have given my body more consistency than ever before, and it has plateaued, stopped me here. Okay. Then I'm like, okay, let's talk about IF. Let's see if that could be the trick, because you need to trick your metabolism at that point if you're having that stall. But you don't need to, for the majority of us. We just need to give our bodies a little bit of consistency. And that's something that we just don't really think about, because, I mean, some of us have children, that like you'll hear from other moms, oh, well, yeah, I let them have fast food several times a week because it's faster, easier for me, and their metabolisms can handle it. Okay, true, kind of, if we have to say that, right? But what about the habits that we're creating? What are we teaching our kids? Not mindful eating, right? Because they can handle it, so we're just going to let them have whatever they want. And then fast forward to age sometimes 15, sometimes 25. I even met women that are like mid 40s that are like, I don't know why my body's not behaving the way it's supposed to. Well, are you giving it consistency? Because if we don't know what equals this body, then how can we know what to try to equal the next level up? So for the most, I say I'm anti-IF. I can't stand, because like I said, it's not the right approach. You don't need to trick your metabolism. You just have to turn it on. And the way that we can do that is by eating within the first hour of waking. This is really important. And if you think that breakfast is not for you, can't do it, it just makes you feel sick even thinking about it. I used to tell my clients all the time, okay, 3 almonds. I need you to eat 3 almonds. And they're like, what's that going to do? It's going to teach your brain that when we wake up, we eat. So it's that first baby, like half step that gets the body going, oh, I'm supposed to be hungry when I wake up. And next thing you know, you're hungry. Another complaint that I get a lot from clients when I have them, they have to eat breakfast. Well, if I eat breakfast, then I'm going to be hungry before lunch. Yes, ma'am. I hope you are hungry before lunch, because lunch is 6 hours from now. You better be hungry. So then they're like, oh, there's so much work. Yes, it is more mindfulness, right? It is more thoughtfulness into how we're treating our body. But I promise you, there is no downside when you do this. If you give your body that extra love, like you would your baby. You wouldn't just tell your baby, oh, like fucking figure it out. Like, you're hungry? Okay, go find something, right? We want to nurture our babies. So think of yourself that way. Think of treating your body like you would somebody you love, somebody you really care about that maybe can't do it for themselves. How would you treat them? You would pull out all the stops. And that's what we need to do. Do you have to do this forever? No, but this time of awakening, we'll call it, if you haven't done this before, will make you more aware forever. It's a muscle that you're just not going to lose. Do I eat every 3 hours perfectly? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But when I find my energy, let's go back to energy, kind of dwindling, or if I find that, man, I had good sleep and yet I am tired at 2 p.m. How have you been treating your body outside of that sleep? Have you been fueling properly? have you had enough water? So for me, it's this natural progression, this questions that I ask myself because I took the time for a while of, okay, we're going to treat it like a baby, you know? So does that make sense? Does everybody kind of get what I'm feeling here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. It just seems like everybody is doing it right now. And
Yeah.
I'm tempted. And I have friends that are my age, so 50s, maybe early 60s, that it has worked for, but it may just be altogether that they're just being more cognizant of what they're eating when they're doing it. Because it is supposed to be a diet.
Sometimes I find more often in the people that I've met doing this, it isn't so much that they're being mindful of what they're eating. It's just that because they're squishing it down into this window, they are in a calorie deficit. It is the magic. It's the magic. Any sort of diet, fad diet, ultimately, what it does is it tricks you into not having to count calories, usually, but into somebody else is coming into having a calorie deficit. So and that actually brings me to my next. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Welcome in.
Good morning.
Morning. But that kind of brings me to the next issue. There is keto. This happens more often, but with IF, it can still happen too. They finish it, they stop it, right? I'm done. I found my goal, or whatever it is, whatever reason they stop doing it, and they gain weight back. And I always say, well, what did it teach you? It taught me nothing. If anything, it taught them lies that, like with keto specifically, it taught me that carbs are bad. No, it didn't teach you anything. It tricked you into feeling able to be in a calorie deficit. And that's all it comes down to. And if you instead go the more easy, in my mind, route of fueling your body consistently and then listening to what it is telling you as you do this, you will find, you know what? My calories don't have to be perfect. In fact, I don't know about you, Raina. I doubt you count. I don't count. Do you?
I don't know. No. And
No.
I was gonna say, Joelle, going back to like your morning, how do an energy? How do we start? To have an energetic day? I know there was some things we wanted to touch on with water, caffeine.
Yes. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry. My intermittent fasting pedestal there, I had to get off for a second. But so when we wake up in the morning, you are dehydrated. If you've ever weighed yourself at night and then weighed yourself again in the morning, you're like, wow, I lost 4 pounds while I slept. That wasn't just magic. It wasn't a trick. Dehydration is real and it's bad in the morning. So if you are a coffee drinker, as soon as I wake up, I drink my coffee and then maybe I'll think about water. I promise your coffee will work better, like exponentially so, if you drink a pint of water first. So when those that are like, no, the first thing that goes in my mouth is coffee and it must be coffee, I'm like, okay, start with 8 ounces then. Just give me 8 ounces first. But the best plan is going to be to not have your caffeine for 90 minutes after you wake up. And it's not just a mental thing of, haha, then you can feel stronger having waited so long. No, it's actually because cortisol, which we hear, cortisol is a hormone that is in everybody's body. And we hear cortisol as the stress hormone. It makes you fat. Now, excess cortisol, not good. Excess of anything that's a hormone in our body, not good, right? We need to have these balanced levels. But cortisol is actually what wakes you up in the morning. It is what makes you go, time to go, right? Instead of I'm sleeping, time to get going. So when you have cortisol, that spike, that actually is what gets you awake. You don't need to stack caffeine on top of it just yet. In fact, it is more effective in the use of the caffeine, right? The coffee will work better if you wait 90 minutes because that cortisol has started to taper. So if you just stack it right on top, I promise you it won't work as well. And if you do it like that without drinking water, you're just asking your body to be more dehydrated. When I first realized this in my own life, and it was not from a place of research, it was a test ultimately. I was like, okay, I love my coffee. Very, very, very first thing. I'm having a hard time though getting my water in throughout the day. So my new challenge is going to be I can't have my coffee until I've had a quart of water. I went big. Okay. A quart. And I shit you not, 3 sips into my coffee, I'm like, wow, my coffee is making me so awake this morning. I feel so alive. No, girl, it's because you were dehydrated and you took the time to fix it. So if you want to wake up and be energized, seriously, stomach that water. For me, a straw can help. If you're like, I just can't do it, a straw can help. Also for me, I go room temp. I don't go so cold because then I'm able to drink more of it more quickly. So just
Lemon.
yeah, lemon, hot lemon water. If you're like, okay, Joelle, I'm listening to you, I'm gonna try, but I like my hot beverage in the morning. Okay, try hot lemon water. Just squeeze a fresh lemon, a drop of lemon essential oil if you have some that's consumable with hot water, kind of like a tea. This actually turns your metabolism on before you even put the food in. This tells your stomach it's time to wake up. So it is exponentially beneficial to our bodies. And if you feel like, okay, waiting 90 minutes is not going to happen for me. Okay. Then nobody expects you guys to magic wand this, right? It's all about the baby steps. And that's what I would do first. Either try to drink 8 ounces of water first, up to 16 or 32 if you're feeling fancy, feeling able that morning, and or starting with hot lemon water. This is going to make your energy exponentially better. And if you're the type of person that wakes up and is like, I don't want to do it, this is where you need to try. This is the first thing you need to do is how am I taking care of my body first thing? I don't need to do all of the things, right? But this would be my first thing. You have something to add to that, Raina?
No, I think you did a really good job covering all of that with nutrition. So thank you. I do want to touch on morning and evening routine while we're talking about energy. We were talking about how in order to set your day up with like higher energy,
Yes.
you want to start the morning with not having to make a ton of decisions, like starting with decision fatigue. So a couple ways to do that, the night before, if you can like lay out your outfit if you want, going back to elementary school.
Yes.
Yeah. And then having maybe like your lunch already in the fridge ready to go. Boom, don't have to think about it. And then the other thing, and then maybe like writing down like whatever your 1 to top 3 items are, just so like you have a general idea of what you're like going to be doing tomorrow. All of those things night before can help not have this huge energy drain and just kind of feeling like, I mean, you're groggy, you're waking up and you're like, what do I have to do today? It's all right there.
Right.
And then the other thing is using your phone in the morning. We've been doing research on this and I was just listening to a podcast about it as well. But actually, like, getting on your phone, checking emails, looking at notifications right away after you wake up, I mean, your brain is it's not fully online yet. We are breaking this fast, you're a little dehydrated. That's like really kind of valuable time right there. And you want to have that time for you energetically. And when you're getting on your phone, you're immediately being pushed to be reactive. And that is responding like that is taking away some of your energy and you're having to make decisions already too. So being mindful of that and also getting on your phone in the morning, that kind of sets you up on this dopamine cycle that you're going to be chasing all day. So how you start your day, it replicates throughout the day. So, and Joelle, we were talking about this, right? Like when you're starting your day looking at your phone, you actually tend to check your phone more throughout the day because your brain is so impressionable when you wake up first thing in the morning, that it just goes, and that's what it's used to doing. So thinking about that can also help with energy.
And just one last little thing. I am just going to keep going back to, I guess, the inner child. When you were little and you had like you had to go to school early because you had a field trip or something that was like exciting, you were excited to wake up. So we need to hack our lives as working adults to find something that excites us to wake up. And for me, like, I love breakfast. When I was training at the gym that I met Raina in years ago, I always joked that the only thing that got me out of bed was those 2 over easy eggs. That was, I had to go to work and I would wait until the last minute. I don't need to shower. I don't need to do anything like that. I just need to get 2 over easy eggs because that is going to make me excited to go to work. It might not be the same for you. Probably not. I'm a little bit crazy. You got to find what it is for you. And if setting out your outfit the night before and you're like, wow, this outfit is going to make me feel like a boss, you're probably going to wake up like, oh, I already have my outfit set out, which feels like almost counterintuitive. I did something last night to save me time in the morning, and yet I woke up with maybe even earlier and more excited than I would have had I not taken those extra steps. So tap into that inner child. What is exciting for you in the morning? Make it so that it is energetic for you, no matter if things don't always go your way.
I love that. For me, it's a smoothie. I really look forward to my smoothie in the morning. Okay, I feel like we should shift gears from nutrition into our mindfulness category. Does that sound good?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so we have kind of a few things to cover here. Going along with the energy theme, we were also looking at like productivity hacks. And obviously you can increase your productivity when your energy is going up. Like they kind of go hand in hand together. So there's 4 types of energy that plays a significant role in our efficiency and our productivity. The first one is your physical energy. So we just talked about nutrition. So how you're sleeping, how you're eating, the water you're getting, all of that can play a huge role, and especially sleep. There's numerous studies that show how lack of sleep really affects cognitive performance. There was one study that I read, if you're only getting 5 hours of sleep per night for 4 nights in a row, it can have the same extent mentally and cognitively as like an alcohol content or blood alcohol content of 0.06, which is wild to think about. So 4 nights in a row of like less than 6 hours of sleep. So taking care of our physical health, huge source of energy. The next one is emotional energy. So this is just how we're feeling connecting with others. Are we feeling like stressed, overwhelmed, exhausted? And what's our sense of security? You know, are we able to feel stable financially or with our job or with our loved ones? Like, what is going on with you emotionally? Because you know, if there's something going on in your personal life and you show up to work and that is coming up in your head throughout the day, that's an energy leak right there. So again, figuring out how to manage that, whether some examples are if you're journaling or if you're talking to a therapist or whatever kind of gives you an emotional release, practicing that regularly can be another way to add some energy back into your life. Mental energy. So up here, our ability to focus. If you can't focus, you're not going to be able to be productive, right? And we all know that our energy levels naturally decrease throughout the day. So like Joelle mentioned, our cortisol peaks in the morning. And as we go throughout the day, cortisol tends to dip. And then as the sun goes down, if you're syncing with like circadian rhythms around like 5, 6 p.m., cortisol dips and melatonin starts to come on and rise. So, and that's just kind of a natural thing that happens. So going back to mental energy, that's something else, you know, being mindful when you need breaks, like when you're like looking at the computer screen for over an hour, or, you know, you kind of, sometimes I'll catch myself in like the reflection of my screen or something. And I'm like, wow, you're really like squinting and your brain needs a little bit of a break. So, yeah, just being mindful of your mental energy. And then lastly, your spiritual energy. And that really goes with what is giving you motivation and what is giving you significance in your life right now. Do you feel the work that you're doing is important and providing something valuable? you need like a sense of purpose. And whether that's your work, whether that's doing things for your family or your loved ones or a certain cause, whatever your purpose is, being connected to that and knowing why you're doing what you're doing every day, that can boost your energy, your spiritual energy. So just wanted to touch on those 4 different energy types. Joelle, did you want to add to any of that? Oh, we just lost Joelle. Okay, so quickly, I wanted to touch, we're going to do a energy boost meditation. It's about 6 minutes. So we're going to do that here in a second. And before that, I wanted to touch on breath work. There's 3 types of breath work. I'm just going to make sure if she's coming back on here. Sorry, guys. I'm sure she'll be back. Okay, but so yeah, I'm going to talk about these 3 different types. There she is.
I'm sorry. All of a sudden it kicked me out. I was like, oh no, I hope I didn't kick everybody out. I'm glad I didn't. Okay, keep going.
Was there anything you wanted to add? I was just going to go into the breath work before about the 4 energy types.
I love that you were talking about both ways to increase and stop the leaks. That's something that I don't really like. I usually go to the let's get more side. So I really like that you touched on those because I feel like that maybe is the part that gets most of us. We don't realize that we're draining energy. We have leaks because of other things that we're not managing better in our lives. So I love that. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Energy leaks is a great topic. I can get into that more, but I know one thing that always comes to mind for me with an energy leak is like when you have a to-do list and there's this constant like lurker on your to-do list. Like, it like transfers over every week or every day, whatever. You're like, this thing, I need to go deal with it. And so I would challenge you, if any of you have that right now, within like the next 2 weeks, next month, like write this thing down right now and just be like, this is my one lurker item that I keep putting off. And for this next month, March, tomorrow was March 1st. I'm going to get it done in March.
Yes,
so.
Yes. And I think that if too, we're looking at all of these different areas of energy and how they can affect us, if it feels overwhelming because you're like, man, I have problems in all of these areas, similarly to finding the lurker on your to-do list, just pick one right now. Just pick one that you're like, man, this is what's getting me the most. I'm not able to regulate my emotions because of XYZ. Okay, well, what do I have control over? I'm going to focus on just this piece right now. And I think that is something that we don't do often enough because we want everything instant gratification, all or nothing mindset. So keep that in mind. The slower, you're going to win the race if you take the slower path. Definitely.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. So before we do this quick meditation, I wanted to talk about breath work. And it's something that we also don't, in addition to like, sleep and water and mental, emotional, spiritual energy, breath is a huge way to get energy. And it can either give you energy or it can just relax you a little bit. So there's this fun YouTube video, and if you guys want us to send it, we can just ask for it. It's about 10 minutes, and it's this guy. He did a TED Talk, and he talks about the 3 different breathwork types: coffee, whiskey, and water. So we'll just start with, it's very fun. Yeah. So we'll just start with water, and this is just having the same amount inhales and exhales. So if you breathe in for 4 seconds, and breathe out for 4 seconds. Just doing that and expanding. So noticing where your breath is when we're putting our breath lower in our stomach versus like up in our chest, that's allowing more oxygen to circulate in our body, which naturally increases energy when we have more oxygen in our blood that way. So that's just a simple one. It just kind of helps. Like if you're feeling like a little maybe just a little too jacked, high energy, which I don't know if that happens too often, but if you're like, I just need to tone it down, and Joelle,
just to me,
yeah, need to tone it down a notch. this water one, because this is what you can do just like water. You can have it anytime, anywhere. It's good to help balance. Or if you're like, I need a little bit of a pick-me-up right now, like it can also bring you up a little bit. So wherever you're at on that, the water breath is great. The next one is whiskey. And just like it implies, alcohol is a depressant. It slows us down, especially our nervous system. And so for this, you're breathing in for 4 seconds and you're exhaling for 8. And just like people like to have alcohol, whiskey as a nightcap, this type of breathing can get you set up for bed. So you'll want to do it maybe like 10 rounds of just, the 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, just while you're laying in bed. That can really help shift your nervous system from that fight or flight sympathetic response to the rest and digest parasympathetic response.
Yes.
Yep. And
Love
then the last one, coffee, that implies like if you're really needing a little bit of an energy boost, this one is breathing in and out quickly, and you're just exhaling. So you're not necessarily doing like a big inhale. You're just, I'll demo it for you. It's like, so it's like a quick little inhale and then you're exhaling. And I know it sounds a little goofy, but it's giving you that quick little hit of oxygen. And
I think that when I the first time I tried and it was difficult, I saw a video that said to focus on just to only think about the exhale. You'll naturally breathe in. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to have a quick but forceful exhale, then the rest will kind of fall into place.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some fun ways to hack your energy with your breath. So now we're going to go and do, you want to make sure I can share? Yes. Okay, I got it.
I was like, I think I have it all good.
You the best. All right. So we're just going to do this for 6 minutes. I know that seems long, but we got this, guys. That's why we're here. We want to be able to not just give you info, but also be practicing this in real time. Can everyone hear this well?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
It's time to relax and re-energize. Make yourself comfortable. Rub your hands together and give the muscles on the back of your neck a rub. Gently move your head from side to side as you relax and rub and heat the muscles at the back of your neck. Good. Use your thumbs now and start making little circles around the base of your skull. Gently making little circles around the base of your skull. Loosening the muscles, relaxing, recharging. Move your hands onto your scalp. Make little circles with your fingers and thumbs. Tiny little gentle circles all over the scalp. Relaxing, re-energizing, soothing. Good. Now tap your fingers on the scalp. This is called raindrops. Tap your fingers all over the scalp, relaxing and very re-energizing. All over the scalp. Good. From the front to the back. From side to side. Take 2 fingers of each hand and make little circles on the temples, just beside the eyes. You'll find that there's a natural little hollow there. And the circles relax and refresh. Gently, easily massage the temples. Smooth your forehead. Move the hands over the forehead, relaxing, releasing. The bridge of the nose, around the eyes gently. Around the jaw, relax the jaw muscles. Good. Put your hands over your face now. Just cup your hands over your face. And breathe. Notice how good that feels. And relax your hands, put them back down. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your jaw. Take a nice gentle deep breath in. Have a gentle stretch. And open your eyes. Fully back. Rested and refreshed and relaxed. Fully back in the moment. Be gentle with yourself.
That was so good. That was so good. I've done like
Good.
tapping ones before, but not consistently. I've only tried out a few, but I haven't done one that was so like, we're gonna do this on your face right now. I loved it. So good.
I'll drop the link for you guys.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any reactions you want to share? How you're feeling after that? Kind of a little different than your normal meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I love his accent too. I can't lie. Like,
Yeah. Same.
who
It
listens?
sounded like Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I didn't think about, yeah, that did a little bit Liam Neeson vibes. That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's like,
I
he
love
can
it.
massage my head.
Perfect. You're amazing, Trish. She's like, I could take this imagination for sure. I love it.
All right. So just for the sake of time, we got our last segment here, exercise and movement.
So something that I feel like in our all or nothing world, we're really hard on ourselves. I love that he ended with be gentle with yourself. Movement snacks, like Raina and I like to say, aren't to add up your calorie burn. That's not what your focus should be on. It should just be to kind of come into yourself. We are on the computer a lot. A lot of us sit for work that like you just get in totally ingrained in whatever it is that you're doing, right? It takes over everything. Sometimes if it's the good kind of engrossed, right? And I'm just so interested that I might forget water and food and the bathroom and everything else. But the body doesn't forget. It definitely like feels it needs to move. We were born and made to move. So taking time to just do a movement snack is going to make everything else in your life feel better. You're not going to feel the same soreness, for instance, if you are sitting down like that. And it just gives your brain a chance to relax. It's kind of like a happy distraction in my mind. If I don't sit for work unless I have, just admin stuff. But when I'm deep into creative work, trying to come up with something, and you almost feel your brow furrow a little bit, like, oh, I am way deep in this right now. Even if I don't stop the thoughts, because that's really hard to do, just getting up and saying, all right, I'm going to walk the dog right now, or I'm going to do 10 squats super quick, just something your body has to kind of regulate. And when that happens, everything just feels a little lighter. Kind of like the meditation that we just did. I don't know about y'all, but like I feel like just a little bit like afterwards. And that's what we should privilege our bodies. Again, thinking about our loved one that we're taking care of. It's not us, it's our loved one. We need to just give ourselves those times. Now, there's other ways that you can add this into your life without fully changing your life. I know Raina does squats in between meetings when she has to be on Zoom. I had a client that would do push-ups on the wall in the bathroom. Every time she went to the bathroom, she would do like 10 wall push-ups, which is rather easy. Her in particular was extra credit. She just had her port removed from breast cancer, but she was like, I'm just not going to stop. So she would do 10 wall push-ups in the bathroom, doing calf raises while you brush your teeth, or squats while you brush your hair. These little things just kind of allow us to be more within ourselves while also distracting us from ourselves in the best way. I hope that's making sense. Other things, just parking far away and taking in the scenery on the way into the grocery store. It might seem like there's not a lot to look at, but think about the fresh air. Think about, just the laugh of a little kid across the way. Like, there's so much joy to be had that we can miss if we don't take those little times to move a little extra. Taking the stairs, of course, that'll do it too. There's even an app that Raina and I have both used, funny enough. It's called the 7-Minute Workout app. And you can put your goals in there and it will just come up with 7-minute workouts for you. Body weight, usually, like I don't think I've ever had one that used equipment. And it is a paid app now, a paid service. But if you're like, dude, the idea of adding anything to my plate right now sounds borderline impossible, that may be the ticket for you. So then if you have to stop and you're just like, okay, I don't have a dog to walk, or it's not walkable weather outside, that would take too long to get ready, all these things that we tell ourselves, right? There's other things that you can do just quickly. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit so I think you can see me here. Our hips are one of the muscles in our body that gets both tight and weak at the same time. Those seem counterproductive, or they almost seem like they don't make sense to me. You can't be tight and weak. You think of tight muscles, they're strong. But no, hips get tight and weak, and it's because they're closed like this in a chair all the time. So I like to do leg swings. Hold on to something, whatever. Just swing your leg back and forth. So you can see that open that's happening. I am very short. You can't quite see it. That opening that's happening here, that's going to allow your flexor to open up the opposite way that it's been sitting the whole time. Rainbow knees is another one that I love to kind of get those hips open and alive. I truly believe like your hips, your iliopsoas is the only muscle that goes in the top half of your body and the lower half of your body. So it's something that gets a lot of stress anyways. And then if we sit for too much of our lives, it's also getting weak and tight. So be mindful. Even if you just stop for a few minutes, you're like, okay, I've been working consistently at this computer for 2 hours. I haven't even got up to pee. Okay, so I'm going to get up to pee. And when I'm walking over, I'm going to think, what am I feeling right now? Really just try and hear the physical body. What is she saying? Do you feel tight? Do you feel actually kind of comfortable? Like it doesn't always have to be bad, but we need to have that open communication with our physical self and our mental self. And that's something that we have definitely lost. And it seems like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like a lot of us try and work out. Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about truly listening to your body and then responding to her. Oh, okay. So my hips are kind of tight. Maybe I'm going to just even search if you have a platform that you use for workouts. Mine, I love it because I can literally search hip stretch, boom. It'll come up with something so I don't have to think about it. I can just ready, set, go. Maybe even you just look up really quick on Pinterest, hip openers. There's stuff out there. Of course, the more tailored to you or the more specific recommended stuff by a coach is going to be best case for you. But I think that we forget that we have a lot of a knowledge within us. So to take a moment and just say, what do I need right now? What does my physical self pretend that she's somebody you care about? Not just you, right? Because we always want to put ourselves at the bottom of the list. But what does she need right now? Do you have anything to add, Raina? I know we talked a lot today, which is great, but I'm like, I don't think I have anything else. Yeah?
No, I think that's awesome. You touched on all the little exercise snacks that I thought of. I love taking the stairs just at my house. You know, just running up and down those, or if you're at the office, I used to go walk those in between floors, skip the elevator. Yeah, just thinking about like do what you can and like not looking at what everyone else is doing, but just focusing on what you need. I like that question, and sometimes it's just a stretch. And
I'm my neck and my back. I feel like I've been like this. Okay, long neck. Just roll it out for a few. It doesn't have to. I mean, I've said this before, but it doesn't have. You don't have to change your life to change your life. It just has to be a little bit more mindful than you were yesterday. And if you make that your goal with your wellness, today I'm going to be just a little bit more mindful than yesterday. Everything else, including the physical, will fall in line. Raina and I have known each other a long time. She was one of the first people in my personal training journeys that I was really connected with. And I always tried to point out that we should take thought in how we feel, right? And to focus on feeling good right now. But we've lost that as a whole, that communication with ourselves. So if you just think, I'm going to be a little bit more mindful, my physical body has had changes the past 2 months when I honestly have only been thinking about the health esteem factor, only thinking about how can I do something for myself that will make me feel amazing now, that also contributes to my higher self winning too, right? Because we like to go for those quick fixes like, well, I deserve this whole chocolate cake because I had a bad day. Okay, but maybe only a couple bites will make you happy now and serve that higher purpose. So that mindfulness, I think that's all we need.
Yeah. Well said. And last thing, I know I keep saying that, but it just made me think with exercise and movement, energy creates energy. So going back to the theme of today, if you're feeling just a little sluggish, a little drained, sometimes I just need to tell myself that, like, hey, Raina, energy creates energy. And I'll get up and do some squats, or I'll do my 7-minute workout or whatever it is. And that really does change your state. And when you're changing your physical state,
Yep.
moving from slouching on the couch kind of thing, or like sitting at your desk, it can just give you that little boost, that little shift, that distraction, that mental break. We're going back to mental energy. You know, we
Yep.
want to replenish that. Doing something physical can help.
And that is something that I hear probably more often than not is, well, I have this really stressful job and I have kids. I have all of these responsibilities and my body, physical body, feels so tired. The last thing that I feel like is going to help is for me to go move it some more. And I'm like, but that's all you need. That's all you need. And it doesn't have to be now I'm this gym rat and I have to go there 7-8 hours a week in order to feel good. No, take those 5 minutes a day. 3 minutes here, 1 minute here. It will all add up and you'll find, wow, I do think I'll go for a longer walk today because I have the energy to do so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does anyone have any questions? That concludes our energy healthy happy hour today.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys for being here. We love sharing our health and wellness for the everyday person, and you know, our goal is to make healthy living more accessible. So if you're feeling called to support us in this venture, we're super grateful. I'm dropping my Venmo here if you feel like that you want to contribute to that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We would just love to see you at the next session. Joelle put in a link to our Google form, so you can put your email in there. We'll send out reminders and any resources, like, you know, we have the meditation that we did today, and just things that we talk about. We'll put a resource list together that we can email out to you. So if you want to be included on that, feel free to fill out that Google form.
Yes. Thank you all so much for coming today. It was fantastic as always, but it just gets me more and more excited every time we do this, that we're sharing the stuff that hopefully y'all need. So if you have, just like Trish did for us last time, if you have something that you're like, I really want to hear more about this and what you two have to say about it, we're all ears.
Yep. And we'll also email out replays. So if there's something you want to go back and like listen to, we'll send that out as well. So you have access to us. Yeah. And we love questions.
For coming. Yeah.
Yeah.